Hey guys, how's it going? My name's James Moran. I'm owner of X9 Chassis. Currently used to be CS9 Chassis, and we bought the jigs and bought them out about a year and a half ago. We've ran CS9s. My son has. His name's Reese Moran. We've ran CS9s from micros since he was about 7 or 8 years old, all the way up to now. He's 17. Rick Bray, the owner of CS9, decided about a year ago, just too busy and didn't want to build sprint cars anymore. And he's a world-renowned chopper builder, motorcycle builder, and one of the best in the world. And one of the reasons why we ran his chassis. The main reason I stuck with Rick and CS9 is I feel like the safety of the chassis. They have a lot stiffer bars, a lot of gussets, a lot of triangular formation. And my son's had some tumbles over the years. He's been racing 10, 11 years, and every time I felt like my driver was very safe in the car. Felt like there was never any damage or or minimal around where he sits, and so I always stuck with CS9s. That's honestly one of the main reasons. We've won a lot of races. I believe Reese probably has 45, 50 races in his career. Every one of them has been in a CS9, including the sprint cars. We changed the name to X9 because Rick has a real personal reason for the CS9 name, and so he kept the name. But we kept everything the exact same, building the chassis, and I'm going to show you guys some of the things we've figured out in the sprint car world that are different than other chassis. I'm not saying better or worse, not talking bad about any of those chassis, but these are some of the reasons why I like the sprint car, the CS9 or the X9 we call it now. And let me show you this car we got going. So this is a roller we got going to be for sale. It's actually roller number 1. So we ran our first car. We've been running 5, 6, 7 races and just making sure everything's dialed in, and so far so good. I think we got 4 wins this year in an X9 chassis. This is the first one we're actually going to sell, so I'm just going to show you a few points that we like, and everything we run on our cars is how we're building these. It's stuff that's worked for us, right or wrong. I'm sure everybody has their own different ways of doing stuff, but just stuff we have figured out that we like to run on our cars and my driver likes. So first thing is this left arm. My driver really likes that, so it doesn't, you get into that arm on a straight arm, locks the car up. Sometimes you can spin out, so we like to run that curved arm right there. We like a big bumper. Not that we use it a lot to plow through people, but sometimes I just feel like it's stronger, instead of just a single bar over there. Shocks on this car are all built by Willie Kane directly. We've had FKs from day one, probably since the junior sprint days. The rebound adjustable on all 4 corners. The right rear is compression adjustable. Outlaw wings. Russell, great guy, man. Love Outlaw wings. Always run those. Show you some main thing about this car is how wide it is. Every time we're at the racetrack, guys come and say, man, look how wide that car is. So if you can imagine, I think the pick point from here to here, 33 or 34 inches. I love that. My driver's in that car, he's got plenty of room on both sides of it. We call it X9 because of this right here. I feel like this is a safe way for an impact. If someone hits you on the side, the car's not going to just come in through as easy as some of the other chassis. Like I say, not right or wrong, not talking bad about any chassis, but for me and my kid in this car, I just feel like this is what I want my kid in, with all these gussets and the width. Let me do it upside, I'll show you. You can see their arms. Their arms are more inside here rather than hanging out of the car like some of the other chassis we've seen. So, shut-off valve below the wheel, MPI wheel, shifter over here to the right. We run a, let me get some light on here. Fuel shut-off valve on the filter. This is one of the main things I really like. When I got in the sprint car world with my son, I was really worried about the drive line being between his legs. You can see here we got hoops on both sides of the car. And we got a Kevlar strap on top in case it comes apart. We also run bags over here to cover the ball. But one thing my driver likes about this is he can rest his leg right here, and he feels like he has good fulcrum and good leverage, and his foot's not dancing around. So not only is it safe, my driver likes it because it keeps his legs straight. We like to run this pedal right here. It's probably a driver choice preference. The single pedal, my driver feels like it shakes side to side. So this is the pedal we sell with the cars. There's our linkage. Is another big thing different than no other chassis is doing right now is this brake pedal. This brake pedal is directly into the firewall. So there's no linkage going back to the chassis anywhere. Aluminum billet pedal. Got some cool grooves right here. Keep your foot from sliding back and forth. Good buddy Blake built these over A1 machine. Our good buddy over there. Drive lines, winners. Torque tube, winners. Rear ends, winners. We like Red Devil brakes. We've tried several different ones, and there again, it's just a preference of my driver. He just likes the Red Devil brakes. Not like I say, nothing wrong with the others, but we've just had good luck with the Red Devils. Torsion arms, Saldana tanks, bladder in the tank. Here's our double adjustable right rear shock. Got a lot of Ty 22 stuff. I like the Ty 22 stuff. It's a personal preference of mine, not so much my driver, but I like the Ty 22 stuff. I just feel like it's pretty good quality, not crazy expensive. Kaiser wheels, love the Kaiser wheels. Preference thing too, probably. I feel like they're lighter, and I feel like they're way easier to break down a tire on. We've had some other wheels that we just fought during a panic, during a rushed heat race or something, switching tires. I just have a lot more luck with the Kaisers myself, so preference deal. Kaiser hubs, pretty cool. Oil bath hubs, not grease packed. Been running them several races, no leaks. Yeah, this car we'll have for sale pretty soon. Like I said, car number 1. It's roller. We got tethers on it too. I'm all about the safety. See, we got axle tethers down low. You see down here, axle tether, steering tether, rock screen. I can make this car race ready too. I got a brand new 305 over here. If a guy's interested in car being race ready, we could work something out. But yeah, this is our car we've been running. Like I said, it's a CS9 basically. We didn't change anything. We got a lot of wins in it. I think 25 or 6 in the CS9 sprint cars. Non-wing, we got big track wins, we got short track wins, we got wins on the fence, we got wins rolling around the bottom. I mean, I just feel like the cars work really good. One thing about these cars I've noticed, if you make the wrong decision, you're gonna know right away. If you make the right decision, you know right away. You know, we've had some guys before talk to us about chassis setup, try to help guys. Like, man, I do 20 things and the car's still doing the same thing. One thing about these cars, I'm telling you, right or wrong, you get feedback. So I'm big on that. So, and honestly, there's times we do not change a car all night long. Like, there's times we sit in the pits and we're like, well, leave it alone, you know? So it's really simple to set up. But if you guys are interested, give me a shout. You can call me on my cell phone or on the Facebook. And a big fan also of steel brake lines. I've road raced a few things in my life and they all had steel on them, and when we got in the micro and sprint car world, we went to steel lines. And I just feel like they're a lot better. They're more consistent. So Another thing we do. So you'll notice I don't have quick connects. That's a preference deal also. To me, I'll be honest, I've had a lot of them fail. And I just feel like it's one more thing to have a leak and have another fitting. And so, you know, a lot of guys run them, especially if you're running, you know, National Tour or World of Outlaws and you're changing stuff quick. Like, I get that. But for like your weekend warriors and, you know, guys, you're not going to be thrashing rear ends probably at a weekly show or something. So we run them sometimes we don't. Just kind of depends. But me personally, I like not having the quick connects. One other thing we do for safety is put these halos on. Some guys don't like the halos, but you can cut them out. But we send every car with them. Another thing I'm a really big fan of, and it's so funny how some guys are just anti this, and I don't get it. But these double wide bird cages, I'm a huge fan of these. You know, there's a bearing on this side, there's a bearing on that side, and then you got your radius rod in the center. So I feel like it's just equal. When the car's working, pulling forward, it's not just pulling on like one bearing and stressing it that way. So we run these double bird cages, and like I say, I'm just a big fan of them. So another thing too is this Jacobs ladder mount right here. It's solid. I mean, it's a solid piece connected to the chassis. A lot of other chassis just have two little tabs right here. If you get in a wreck, they just bend left or right and snap off and ruin your night. But the top and the bottom, both, kind of see down here, just one solid piece of steel. Those are made by my buddy Blake, also at A1 Machine. One more thing I'll show you guys is on these double bird cages is right here. You can adjust the ladder, moving it up or down. So, you know, the track's tacky. You can raise this adjustable bar up to here. Track gets slick, you can run it down to the bottom there, just to help you free up the car or tighten up the car. Instead of moving the ladder, it's way easier just to loosen these two bolts and just slide it down, slide it up. Alright, so lastly I'm going to show you a car we've been running every week. Reese has been running this car, so I've got our 360 in it this week. But I want you guys to see with the seat mounted and where we put our fire bottle, give you a good idea of just how wide these race cars are and how much room they have. So you can see right here on the side, got our fire bottle right here between the seat, between the chassis. I like to run all my plumbing right here, so I can just walk right up to the car. I got a panel down here you guys can take off if you want to put your fuel rail and everything downside. But rather than take this panel off, I like to just come right up to the side of the race car right here, change my main pill, be done with it. But give you an idea, that fire bottle is right there. My driver can pull this pin real easy right next to him. Pull this wheel off here. But you can see how much room between the seat and the driver. Driver's arms, I mean, you got a lot of room from here to here. That way, like I say, the driver's arms are, you know, you see his shoulder harness right here. So his arms here, the actual chassis of the car is out here. So his arms don't ever hang outside the car while he's driving. So, all right, guys. Well, like I say, if you have any questions about the cars, give me a call. My cell phone, it's 918-232-5010, or reach us on Facebook. Appreciate you guys watching.